Hey, and welcome back. Today we're talking about something that's very important for digital nomads. But to be honest, this is not usually where my brain shines. I'm a creative, you know that side of the brain, and I can spend hours happily working away on a podcast story, an intro, a sound design idea, or finding the perfect little pause before a joke. But when people start talking about exchange rates, transfer fees, payment rails, hidden markups, and financial infrastructure, a small part of my brain quietly packs a bag and leaves the room. And that's a problem, because even though I find that stuff confusing and, let's be honest, sometimes a tiny bit boring, I really don't like losing money. I don't like paying fees I don't understand, and I hate wondering if I just sent money the stupid way. And I definitely don't like the feeling that somewhere between one country and another, a little chunk of my hard-earned money simply disappears. So today I'm hoping that our guest, Zoey Lee, can help me, and maybe you as a listener, understand this in a way that actually makes sense. Zoey, I'm not saying that you should talk to me as if I'm 8 years old. Just talk to me as if I'm a super creative podcaster who wants to keep more of his own money, but is absolutely not a financial genius. Can we do that?
Yeah, I will try my best. We don't dive into too much fintech stuff. No worry, yeah.
Thank you. Welcome to the Nomad Summit Podcast, episode 59, Stop Losing Money Across Borders, Smarter Payments for Digital Nomads.
Hello. Welcome.
Welcome, Zoey.
Hello, really nice to thank you for having me here.
You grew up in Taiwan. You worked in fintech, so financial tech in Singapore, moved to Canada. Right now, you're back in Taiwan for a little bit until you go to San Francisco we'll get into that. Tell me a little bit about your journey.
Yeah, I'm original from Taiwan. And as you mentioned, I have been working in Taiwan. And then I found my first foreign job in Singapore. And then after several years, I'm looking for more challenges. So I relocated to Canada. So I probably spent over, I think, decade, 10 years working on a fintech company called 3 different countries. And many is for payment infrastructure, lending, and the cross-border. And most recently, I started my own startup.
Yeah. Is your background banking or tech?
It's tech, yeah. When I got first job working on website stuff, I think back to 10 years ago, it's very early on. We still call it a website and we don't have too much cloud. And then suddenly in past 10 years, everything is grow very quickly. So I moved to the cloud infrastructure. And then after I have a chance to, step into the fintech, and I found it's very, very interesting things. Finance is something I think it's a lot of things we can think of. Pay the bill, receive money, sending the money, and the foreign exchange. So many very fun stuff. And I find my passion on the fintech product. After I moved to Singapore, I just keep dive into everything related to a fintech.
Interesting. So when did the whole money across borders first become a real life problem for you personally?
I think when I first in Singapore, back to the 2018, I think we have the Wise and the revenue.
Yeah.
They just start expanding their service into Singapore. So I think I was okay with that time. I don't feel too much struggling on money transfer. But when you're doing money transfer repeatedly, almost twice every month, you have found you have to pay the extra cost every transfer you made.
Mm-hmm.
So that's first start point. I notice I'm being charged when I decide to work as a digital nomad.
Yeah, let's get into the whole thing. You told me that there's a hidden money tax that many nomads don't really notice. What did you mean by that?
So I think for most of the people, they don't really notice how much they're gonna cost when they make transfers. Usually most people will focus on foreign exchange. So let's say some of provider, they will offer the really best exchange rate, but they might offer the visible fee behind this transfer. And the other provider, they might offer the zero fee, but with worst exchange rate. But most people only focus on the foreign exchange rate, and they think if we can get the best foreign exchange rate, then they can receive most. But actually it's wrong, because behind every transfer, they have the 3 layers fee, like deposit and foreign exchange spread and the withdrawal fee.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the number most people care about, it's wrong. The only number we should care about is how much we receive after all fees.
Yeah, I find it so confusing. Sometimes I get a clean number and then I see, the fees, that seems reasonable. And then I look at what am I actually getting? And then, no, that doesn't match the exchange rate. So it's like there are 3 layers, the deposit fees, the exchange rate markups, and withdrawal fees.
Yeah, it's if you use it wise, if the recipient is another country, they are not using wise, they use a bank. Then they have the hidden fee between the bank and the wise, which you don't even notice before you send money.
No. Do you think that's the most common mistake we as nomads make when moving money between countries?
I don't think that's the mistake we made, because I'm a digital nomad as well. I think it just, from my perspective, the provider didn't provide the transparency for us. So that's why whenever we make transfer, we don't know how much we receive. And I remember they have the one user I interviewed last week. That's very funny. We asked, how much you receive? She said, I didn't know. I just thinking the money will arrive on time. That's fine for her. So they don't know how much they receive. They know my money already sent out and then they can receive on time. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they normally be charged, but they didn't count how much they're being charged.
Let's get a real life example from my side. I'm in Chiang Mai, Thailand. I have a couple of US clients and I have my bank account in Denmark. When I work with the European clients, they use Swift. When I have my clients from my home country, Denmark, I use regular bank transfers. Some use Wise, some use Revolut. I even had one that uses Western Union.
Western Union is very expensive.
Oh, no. Oh, no. I also have a PayPal, which I try not to use because their fees are crazy as well. So I don't know exactly what's the best way for my clients to pay me.
I think the best route, it's really depend on how much you send, speed, cost, and your preference. Because if your client have the Wise will be the best option for you guys. But if you have Wise and the other one have the bank, you can transfer to SGD, or you can use USDC, which is a stablecoin. And if you use the stablecoin, it would be the best option and the cheapest and the faster.
Okay, this is where I get confused. What kind of coins? Oh, we're not talking Bitcoins or anything like that, are we?
No. Stablecoin is one of the crypto coin, but it's backed by the USD, which means their rates won't up and down. They will keep equal to USD.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Wise and Revolut are great, but they're what you call single rails. And you've also told me before this conversation that multi-rail is much better. What is a payment rail and what's the difference between a single rail and a multi-rail?
So the payment rail is basically just like Wise. So when we do transfer like Wise to Wise, it's called a single rail, single provider. Bank to bank, it's one reals.
So that's good.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the step coin to bank coin and the local bank transfer for local bank transfer. ACH, it's kind of the local bank transfer. You can send someone via email or mobile phone in one country. That's called a local bank transfer.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's one real. local bank real.
Got it.
Yeah, so we found the best way to transfer money is cross the multiple real. Like for global transfer, if you have the WISE, you can convert to a Thai. And then you can use a local transfer real, transfer WISE Thai to your bank account.
Yeah, I can have different currencies, and then I can transfer that into my Danish bank account for a small fee.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you tell me a little bit about the Vancouver kitchen? When we were emailing before, ahead of this conversation, you mentioned an overnight Vancouver kitchen table conversation in September 24. What happened?
Yeah, I and my co-founder, we were the housemates. I'm the first one to live in that house. And after I worked in Vancouver for, I think, 6 months, she just joined this house as well. And then one day we just start talking about the money management, and we are share money movement experience. And suddenly we just share some of the same frustrating. She original from Hong Kong, so she have to manage the Canadian dollar to Hong Kong dollars with lower cost. And I share some of my experience to her as well. Things I crossed 3 different countries. I don't even count how many apps I have on my phone just for manage money transfers, local bank. Even I have the crypto exchange. And then WISE revenue, I have both. And forget how many bank accounts I have across 3 countries. Yeah. So I say I found the best way to transfer money is always transfer by using the USD, because it's more cheaper fee between the conversion rate, and then it's the wire cover whole words. And then we start diving into each of the currency, how much we charge, how long it will take to arrive our bank account, how much we be in charge, and what's hidden costs behind every transfer.
Wow, yeah. Take me back to that kitchen table. You say it was a long conversation, and then you suddenly realize, wait, this is not just our problem. This might be a bigger problem for many other people, or what happened?
Yeah, I think not just digital nomad. As long as you are earn one country and spend another, you will face in this similar situation. Yeah. So we are start thinking, it's any possibility we can turn this idea to, business opportunity.
And that was the start of your company, Glintz. You had so many apps on your phone, you needed one more. Was that it?
No. I think we don't need one more, because the problem is a way to move money. We have to figure out which one is the best option.
So tell me what it is that Glintz does.
So Glintz is basically, it's a small routing platform for cross-border transfer. We aggregate over 15 providers. It cover over 100 corridors, and the ranking then by how much they will receive after all the fees. So you can see which one is the best option, and you can choose which one you want, because sometimes the best option is require you have to download a new app, you have to start over again. So the best way maybe just choose whatever you want, and but we calculate everything for you.
So let's go back to my situation. I have a client from the US who's transferring money to me. So I open your app and it tells me what's the best option?
Yeah, they will tell me what's the best option based on your corridor, the currency, where you want to send, from which currency to which currency, and then how much you want to send. And then they will list down all the provider, and you can, select different payment method, because we found sometimes the fee will change based on your payment method. And you can find the best option for your situation.
So does that mean sometimes I will need to tell my client, oh, you need to get an account there in order for me to do it? I mentioned Western Union before. I'm working with a university in the US, and they have very systematic thing in place. And I don't think if I go to them, you should use this. If they say, no, we're always using Western Union, that's what we do, I will have a hard time persuading them. But what would be my situation there if a client, you don't want to bother the client, you want to make it easy for them?
For that situation, I would say, you not only need to have the Western Union, you have to download the other app and you have to map this provider to your Western Union. Then they can make money movement more easier.
Yeah.
So, the current version, it's help to find the best lot. So our final goal is not just only help you find the best lot. Eventually, we can execute best lot for you through our platform. That's our, final goal. Yeah.
So is it an app or a website?
Both, but we are still fundraising for getting the license. Everything have to, backed by the regulation. Yeah.
I can imagine. Yeah. And that takes us back to, you're not going straight back to Vancouver after Taiwan. You're actually going to Silicon Valley to see if you can fundraise.
I think we are actually fundraising. We got few investing core. Of course, we got a lot of rejection, but we also got a few investor core next week. So we are keep talking and hopefully we can, launch this beta version as soon as possible, or maybe end of the year or earlier next year.
How does that happen, fundraising? How do you do that?
It's not fancy trip. We just keep sending the email and apply through the website of those venture capital and find an angel investor. It sounds very boring story.
No, I think a lot of our listeners, if they have an idea and or working on an idea and think, oh, if only I can get some angel investors, and I wouldn't have the first clue on where to find them. So do you just Google it, or how do you find angel investors who might be interested in something like this?
Last November, we got selected by Launchpad programs. So we kind of step into that ecosystem. So we have the chance to approach some of the investor, and also I follow some of the famous popular channels. So through the X, through the LinkedIn. So you can find that a lot of people share the investor list, angel list, and venture capital for different stage of the startup. You can reach out. So that's how we found the investor we can approach.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But the reason you're going to San Francisco, that's physically to knock on doors and have some meetings, right?
I think we because I and my co-founders, we will try these 2 months to send out all the cold email and approach and see what's gonna happen. We still don't know. But we still plan to, fly to San Francisco. And because they have a lot of the startup events, networking events you can attend there in Silicon Valley. So they have bring more opportunity to approach the investor directly.
That's cool.
Yeah.
You and your co-founder, you also do some interesting articles on Substack. And I've been looking at especially one article that is called "Where Does Your Money Actually Go?" But tell me a little bit about what we can find if we go to your Substack.
Honestly, recently we are share more on our, entrepreneur journey. Our fundraising story, it's every day we feel like we are moved a little bit forward, a little bit. But we also keep sharing some of the latest news. Like we found Stepcoin would be the trend for next 10 years. Every global big giant, global payment, they are start using the Stepcoin as their infrastructure. So we are keep sharing some of the news to kind of prove we are in the right place to do these kind of the things. So you can find the fintech news, our entrepreneur journey, and, our product update there.
That's cool. That's cool. Yeah. It's great to have for the future when you've actually done an exit and become a millionaire or a billionaire, and then to have that whole backstory.
I hope so. And I hope so if one day I become a millionaire, I can join your podcast again.
yeah, that would be a great circle back.
Tell me a little bit about your co-founder. Are you both the same kind of person or are you very different? Do you have different strength? How do you find a good co-founder?
Yeah, I think the first thing is we kind of the complementary skill we have. Like I'm a very technical person and she's marketing person. So whenever we talk about the same issue, we talk about from different angle. We always have a conflict because, we are very different. But since we have same versions, let's keep pushing forward.
So you're the geek and she's more the creative person.
Kind of, I can say that, kind of, yeah. Sometimes he will find out something. For example, when I talk about my money move experience, I say the USD, USDC. She say, I didn't aware the cheapest way would be always use the USDC or it's a very genius way. And I suddenly found out, I saw everyone know. That he kind of being the one to point out something that most people don't know. And we can either put this on our Substack or we can turn into the product.
But your co-founder does get it.
I think she always try to understand me, to be honest. I will always improve myself. And my founder always say, that's too difficult to understand. I think we should, bypass this part.
Yeah. So just exactly where are you on the journey? Is it launched or are you still waiting for this next funding?
No, we already launched the first version. The purpose of current funding raising is for us to get license because it's quite expensive. And have more people to finish this product and do the fully testing. Yeah. Because if we would like to do some kind of the money service, we have to legal license to back up to make sure we are not doing the money laundry.
Yes. Yeah, all the rules and regulations.
Yes, correct. Yeah, we have to make sure we are legal, especially for most of digital nomads. They also care about this a lot.
Yeah. That's a whole other topic that can be really complicated.
Yeah. Hopefully I don't make too complicated on this episode.
No, I think I got it. And I feel it's going to be really interesting to follow your journey. And like you said, let's catch up in a couple of years and see where it is at that point. Yeah, really interesting. Thank you so much, Zoey. This was interesting, and I think I learned a lot. I don't know if I'm going to be the master of money transferring, but it certainly gave me a lot to think about. So thank you for that.
Thank you, you too. Thank you for having me here, and really nice discussion.
And good luck in Silicon Valley, and say hi to all the rich people if you meet any.
Sure. Thank you.
This episode was hosted by me, Palle Bo. I also produced it with my production company radioguru.co.uk. The theme music is created by Divya Shea, aka Divi, the audio nomad.
สวัสดีค่ะ
If you found this episode valuable, make sure to follow the podcast and tell a friend.